right here. Andrew wrote, I found a Bigfoot museum down the street from Menard's store in Hastings, Nebraska. They're there. And, sometimes we just don't know that they're there because they don't have the money to make commercials and stuff and put it out there. And sometimes, usually they're older people who get these places together. And sometimes you need a young person to work your museum for social media to get the young people to say, hey, we exist. But they're there, and I'm trying to find them. And when I find them, I play them here because, hey, if you live near that area and you got nothing else to do, you're bored, hey, let's go check out that museum. Let's go. Let's get in the car. Road trip, baby. This one here is called Ghostly Figures Caught on Camera from King 5 News.
Let's see. How do I put this?
I just don't know if it's good or bad.
Adrienne King sees dead people.
I see things through the photos.
See, at first, she thought there was something wrong with her camera.
In every picture, there's something.
Shot after shot, filled with mysterious lights, orbs, and auras. Things that looked like moving lights in places where there weren't any. Spots that looked like rain on a perfectly dry night.
Some type of energy.
And when she changed cameras again and again,
I've used probably over 5 digital cameras.
Love her shirt.
The ghostly
ECW.
Photos just kept on coming.
It's not a coincidence.
Adrienne says it all seems to have started a few years ago, after a near-death experience she prefers not to talk about. The chills and spine tingles she'd been feeling her whole life grew somehow enhanced.
It feels like somebody's watching you.
Adrienne set off on ghost hunts, and her camera did not disappoint.
No matter where I go, I seem to get something somewhere.
In a local church? Is it an orb or an angel hovering over the Holy Bible?
That one's really exciting.
At the Jimi Hendrix Memorial, a beam of light seems to shoot from the ground below, and a vortex of light at the end of a rainbow. Today, Adrienne's returned to the place she found most haunted, the former site of a bakery outlet in Shoreline.
The picture here with the girl sitting on my friend is the scariest one I've ever seen.
Seattle area, people.
Whoa. See them?
Children.
Even Adrienne's daughter, Kaylee, is adding to the mounting evidence that something strange is going on here.
That's a good idea to have your kids just take pictures.
Some people might say it's nothing.
All y'all with Rugrats.
Adrienne King and her haunted cameras have the photos to suggest otherwise.
I want to know more about it.
Thank you.
Okay, what's interesting about this story to me is 2 different things. The first thing is she's learning she has abilities, but her abilities is actually through a camera. It's like it happens more through a camera. She takes the picture, something shows. Now, hopefully she's not using the exact same camera, just to show skeptics. There ain't something wrong with this camera. This happens on multiple cameras. That'd be a good one. The second, what's interesting is her saying her abilities started to happen after a near-death experience. We all have heard stories about near-death experience, that some people saw things and they came back. And of course, science always says, well, it's the electrical, whatever. Electrical, mind's going, okay, right, cool, fine. But there's so many stories, millions of stories of people saying they started seeing things once they came back. Is there an explanation? Maybe. There could be, or there could be not. Or sometimes the explanation is right in front of you. We just don't want to hear it. But it's kind of neat that her abilities is through a camera. All those lights. And if it's happening on multiple cameras, that's where you got to ask, why, right? If you're happening just on one camera, then you can say, her camera's broken. You could probably make that argument. But if it's happening on multiple cameras, that's pretty good.
For sure. I'm really impressed with those lights and those weird streaks. And again, I think there's something we can learn if you kind of calculated all of those and maybe took all the ones that were similar from everybody. We could try to see if it's spelling something out, or maybe it's a fairy, maybe it's a route. Maybe it's some kind of sacred geometry. It'd be very cool. And yeah, Nana Boss knows very well. She's seen other videos too. I know there's tons of other ones that
another lady like that, just like her. And then there's another lady who has the same thing when she has video with those types of stuff. And guys, there might be thousands of more people, but not everybody's going to come out and tell their story. Or maybe they are, nobody's listening. I mean, that's another one too. I like this one. I see live people. Oh no, take them away. That's kind of cool. Science can't quantitate it. It's not real. So what happened when scientists has a near-death experience themselves? I don't know. I think a lot of us should get together and we should try to do flatliners for real. You know, Connor will go first. He will let us, technically we'll kill him, but we'll bring him back. He'll trust us. He'll trust us. We'll have the heart stoppers made out of batteries or something. And Connor's like, fuck you. I'm not going to be the guinea pig to do a real life flatliner. You guys haven't seen Flatliners. I'm telling you, it's one of the classics. But
did you see the remake?
The remake wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't mind it. A lot of people, hated it. I didn't mind it.
Well, they're going to hate it because the original has a lot of big actors, Julia Roberts, Kevin Bacon. But back in those days, they weren't like super huge yet. So, and a lot of times you're never going to beat, not that you're going to beat the original. The new ones could be better, but in our mind, we have it where the original is always the best. It's kind of like Michael Keaton's my Batman. Those have a special place in my heart. But I have to admit, the Christopher Nolan ones were better. But, back in your mind, you always say, no, that's not better. This is better. This is the original. Sometimes we don't want to be real because you're stuck with the original. But, oh, well. This next one is up to you if you believe the footage is in this next one real or not. Like I said, it's up to you. This is one of those, could be fake as shit, could be not. I'm here to give you my opinion. So when you see this footage, it's all up to you if you want to believe it. This one's called Ghost Caught on Camera at Ye Old Man and Scythe Lu Pingyuan. How the fuck they write that? Yeah, I would have wrote it simpler, but fuck it. Just letting you guys know, it's not a super long video, so I played the original speed. Then I slowed it down. Then I zoomed in on the one interesting spot. So I did the footage 3 times into one, just so you guys know. Slow motion. I don't know if you saw that. There's a little flash, and it looks like the face, like a body right there.
Yeah. That's crazy. There's a lot of energy all over the place, but you can definitely see like apparition or a body form. It looks like it's like a hooded person. That's what I caught right on the first watch, and then it's clear as day, as slow-mo.
Yeah. And then,
yeah, right, like that. But you can even all the way to the far right of the screen, you could still see like energy moving too. So the thing was going around the bar.
Like I said, that's up to you. Now, I was reading the comments on the regular video, and of course, I'll have the link once the show's over to it. Some people saying, well, it's probably a lightning storm on the outside. That's where the flashing comes in. And I'm not saying it's not. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know if there was a storm that night. I can't say that. It could be 100% fake. I don't know. We weren't there. That's all I'm going to say. We weren't there, but could it be? I don't know. This might be the most realistic, most true video there is. I can't say, but it is fun. It is neat. And if somebody did trickery in this, they did a pretty good job, because I liked how they did the face. If it's completely fake, I'm saying, if it is, they did a pretty good job with that part of looks like a face about to flash in. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really cool footage. I think it's pretty compelling too. I don't think it's a lightning storm or anything like that.
No, I mean, I was just reading some of the chat. I mean, they're thinking, maybe it's a lightning storm. I don't know. It could be, but it just seemed too much flashes on the inside. I mean, you would have to have a lot of not mirrors, but a lot of open windows to be able to have that flash on the inside, because if you have curtains and stuff, you might see a flash, but not that much, not that dramatic.
Yeah, and the pacing would be different. The pub probably would never even save the footage because they would have seen it a million times.
You can't downgrade everything you see, or you will never have an open mind. Yeah. You're right. I mean, you got to try to think of ideas what could cause it. And that's how you're supposed to. What if you're trying to cause that? How would you do it? And then once you try to figure out how you could do it, and you can't do it, hey, I might got something. Let me see here. Danny, thank you for posting people's channels. I'll always subscribe to them. That's good. I can't wait until she has her channel or her show started. And she actually already invited me to come on when she does it in June.
Heck
I
yeah.
think June is too long to wait. My opinion. I think you should have me on sooner, but I can't wait till you do something. I'm excited for it and all that.
She already has some content over on her channel. She has some video of when we hiked in the Green Swamp and had tons of crazy activity. I don't think the activity is in her video just because she's keeping it exclusive for the documentary. But yeah, she has some awesome stuff in there.
I can't wait for her to hear her, her hosting it. That's what I'm excited. I want to hear. I know she's got a lot of stuff. I almost didn't recognize you, Eric. Oh, you almost didn't recognize me? It's growing back. I'm not going to shave again. I only shave maybe once or twice a year. I'm growing it back. Don't worry. Beyond that, people, let's get on over to the UFO. All right. This first one, the paranormal, is Paranormal West Virginia Blennerhassett Island. So there's an island out near West Virginia. I didn't know there was an island in West Virginia. So I don't know. Let's call that a Mandela effect or something. I don't know. But let's check out this island in West Virginia.
The latest Paranormal West Virginia story is about a haunted island and a wealthy socialites who lived there over the years. Shayla Klein joins us now from the 12 Newsroom and has more on this spooky tale. Shayla.
Blennerhassett Island was purchased by Harmon and Margaret Blennerhassett during the Revolutionary War period, and today the island is a state park, where some visitors say the family never quite settled into the afterlife.
Margaret Blennerhassett is credited for being West Virginia's first poet. It's no surprise then that Margaret's ghost has been spotted all across the island with a book in hand. In one well-known instance, a group of campers illegally set up a tent and a campfire on the island. In the middle of the night, the group heard rustling, and when they went to investigate, they found Margaret's ghost reading some of the books the campers brought with them.
I think that's very telling of the type of person she would have. I
got to pause it for a second. This was the first video I ever heard that a ghost is reading books. I have never heard that before, of ghosts reading books. But wow, what I'm curious is whoever's seen this ghost. Was it actually like opening up the book and moving the pages to a page? I'm curious about that. I wanna interview the person who saw the ghost opening a book. That is awesome.
I like to think of her as a very intellectual, strong-willed woman who is, living her best life. Why not? Living her best afterlife.
Another frequent sighting takes place inside the mansion. According to tour guide staff, children are known to see the ghost of a little girl in what is known as the Walnut Room. Some speculate that the little girl could be baby Margaret, who was born on the island but did not survive infancy. However, staff say that the spirits on the island are more likely to be Native American spirits.
Native Americans have lived on this island for 13,000 years, and there was a village right here. Could it be a spirit of a Native American person, or is it a European?
I don't know if I believe in ghost stories or not, but there's been enough instances and enough descriptions that match the same story. It does make you think about it.
Although the island is closed for the season, the Blennerhassett Museum of Regional History is open year-round and has many artifacts from the island. The island opens up again in May of next year.
The Blennerhassett family has a captivating history of scandal and treason that you can read all about on our Paranormal West Virginia tab on our website. Live from the newsroom.
Now, what I liked about the cop, now he said he's a little bit of a skeptic. I mean, he's saying, he didn't believe, but you hear enough stories of the same person they're describing makes you think. That's all you could ask for from a skeptic. I mean, a skeptic coming out saying that, that's kind of skeptics I respect. They're not like pushing away the idea that it doesn't exist, even though they might not believe fully, but they respect that the stories are almost all the same. And as a cop, you're looking for evidence. You're looking for that evidence that matches the crime scene that you're at. So that's kind of skeptic I don't mind.
Yeah, I thought it was brave of him to even be out there. I think he's just like a park ranger or security guard, so he probably doesn't have that high of a, standard
Park
held
ranger,
to him.
But
still very cool to see. And I think we should send Amber's Paraworld down there, maybe with BF Bud, since that's their corner of the area. I didn't know I didn't know West Virginia had a bunch of islands. I know of Wheeling Island, which is a really cool little spot in the Ohio Valley where they found tons of giant skeletons, and it's right about a bunch of Native American mounds. But yeah, I love how that guy had to say, 13,000 years worth of natives have been living there. And then a European has been there, 110 years. So it's very interesting. But man, what are spirits? What is energy?
Yeah.
How far does it go back?
And that's why I like playing these clips. Connor just said he didn't know there was islands there either. I lived in Maryland for a while. I've been in West Virginia plenty of times. I never knew they have considered an island in the history there. But now I know if I'm in that area or somebody lives near there, hey, I got another place to check out, So that's what I love about it. And this next one is creepy haunted house in Pierce County.
That's what is cool, though, researching all these different locations. In the future, when we have conversations with people and they're like, oh, yeah, I was in Vermont. It's a talking point. It's something that you can find common ground. And that's why I love no problem with conversation, because I can find some kind of connection to something, and it's going to bring us together. It's going to make us feel, special, and that's how all conversations and connections should be. We all are puzzle pieces, and we can complete each other even more.
It is. And here's some information here's some information from Sean G. West Virginia has ton of Indian mounds, which are located near water source most of the time. See, that's viable information. Hey, welcome, Shelly. Welcome. Glad to see you here.
Hey.
Let me see here. So let's check out this in Pierce County.
Welcome back. Just in time for Halloween, we've got a bit of a spooky story for you. The former Puget Sound Hospital on Pacific Avenue, that's now used for office space
Seattle
by Pierce
area
County employees,
Pierce
has
County's
a bit of a haunted history. Reporter Megan Hutton takes us inside.
Puget Sound Hospital in Tacoma is rumored to be haunted, and inside these walls lurks a nurse named Mabel from the 1920s. And if you're lucky enough, you'll have a chance to meet her.
I'm a believer now, I'll tell you that. I never was before.
Julie Showers was working alone in the building 7 years ago, filling vending machines on the graveyard shift.
All of a sudden I look over and there's someone standing there in a nurse's outfit, and she's holding a candle, and I said, "Hi, how are you?" And she just looks at me like that and turns away, and I just said, "Oh, that was rude." And I waited about 5 seconds. I walked after her and gone.
Down in the basement of the old 1950s hospital is the original morgue. Rumors about Mabel the ghost grabbed the attention of Ross Allison. He's been a paranormal investigator for 20 years.
Right when we got in this room, we definitely got a huge spike, and it was pretty steady for a bit, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. Many people have seen her wandering the hallways. She's been known to appear in the elevators, and most times when people do see her, they don't even realize that they've ran into a ghost. She seems to be a full, solid apparition, so it would actually look like a living person until you actually end your conversation or just turn away for a second, you look back, she's completely gone.
Showers believes there is no mistaking what she saw after a coworker showed her some staff photographs from the 1920s.
Well, she just stuck out like a sore thumb. I said, right there. And he just says, you saw Mabel. You start putting everything together. This couldn't have happened.
Sightings of Mabel have been reported at all times of the day and night, and throughout both buildings on the property.
There's no such thing as a ghost meter. And so what we do is we basically try to read the environment and determine if there's any changes in the environment, any changes that can't be explained. That might give us an idea that there could be something paranormal going on.
I've been down in the morgue by myself and, down in the basement alone with like one light on, very dim, and it's just, you would have to be here when it's dark. I wasn't really afraid to come back. You're afraid but you're not. It's that curiosity. Then I was hoping to see her again.
Inside the haunted hospital, Megan Hutton reporting, Pierce County News.
What's cool is, guys, I live near that hospital, but I never actually been in that hospital. And that's kind of weird because, why is that weird? What, you get hurt a lot? No. From 2014, 2019, I worked for a medical company. We did deliveries of these machines to all these hospitals, wound vacs. All the way from Seattle, Bremerton on the other side of the water, all the way down to Olympia. I have been in so many hospitals, and let me tell you something. There is a different feeling in a hospital. I know we're in a different environment. I get that, but you don't know how many patients that I have talked to delivering stuff, and there's something that they say that they see things that are not there. And you hear this over and over again. Now you can say, well, they're on medications and all that. And I get all that. But when you talk to a lot of these people that I have talked to, being to these hospitals for 5 years, I was delivering. I was a charge of the warehouse, but sometimes I had to make deliveries when somebody calls out sick or there's emergency delivery. And you hear these stories all the time that they see something and there's something there. And when you walk by yourself in a hospital when it's kind of dark, because I had to make some deliveries at 2 o'clock in the morning before, it is eerie. It's almost like you do feel something. And I know it's dark. I know it's because you're everything's white. I get that. But if there's going to be ghosts, you would think an abandoned hospital, a full function hospital, the amount of people that pass away, there's going to be some kind of a experience going on there, and it's just a lot of times you are on drugs. The reason you're there, you're getting well, and you might not see everything around, but some people have, and you should listen to them because just think about the amount of people that have died there.
And the amount of people that have been born there. It's just a high energy location. I think all hospitals definitely carry some kind of strange energy. And then you think, maybe the hospitals were put there for a reason to harness and harvest what was there before. Maybe it's all connected. It's definitely very interesting.
Yeah, I have not been in a hospital that did not have a supernatural activity. I agree with you 100%, Sean G. It's just a lot of times in the daytime, hospitals are so busy, everybody's running around, you're not catching everything. But I would love, if I had a dream sheet, I would love to go to an abandoned hospital with Connor. And Connor and I won't even need equipment. We'll just go in and do the experience for ourselves.
Yes.
Now, maybe an EVP little recording, at least something. But I would just love to be able to spend almost a full day inside of a hospital, and especially an abandoned one, because even if it's abandoned, people still have died there. You know, and what did I say? Churches used to heal people playing. And some hospitals that I've been to have churches inside those hospitals too. There is. There's some that actually have some. We got some religion type hospitals in Washington where they have a little chapel inside of a church. Not every one of them, but there are a few. And, you know, I'm not saying religion is responsible, but some of these do have religion chapels there and all that. So beyond that, guys, it's some UFO time. And one of the videos in UFOs is more for fun than